Hello there, my fellow Cybertronians. This is Mega Ginger of the Ginger Transformer podcast. Excuse the windswept look. It's been very, very windy past few past few months. If I'm completely honest, as the best I could look. I look wrecked, but that will still not stop me from talking about the City of Fear. So here we go. City of Fear is one of the last collected comics, Marvel UK collected comics brought out. It's a good one. I like it. It's got a very kind of Walking Dead kind of thing about it. I mean, can't really ever say anything bad about zombies. So, Transformer zombies. You so yeah, we'll get to the plot points and the reviews of each part of this. So, City of Fear starts with a story that doesn't seem to actually have anything to do with the City of Fear. Is issue 132. It's called Cup's story. It's basically the story of how Cup got his groove back. Basically, he was, you can't pull triggers anymore. You can't fight anymore. When you get to a certain age, they just send you off to pasture on a ship. Apparently, runs into Hot Rod, who is trying to rescue Blur from a bunch of aliens. And by the end of that comic, he rescues them both. He gets his groove back. By groove, I mean I started blasting. Cup kind of started blasting. I love that Danny DeVito fucking thing. It works for anything. And yeah, basically, by the end of the comic, it's like a one shot. It's not even a lot of pages long. It's like, yeah, Cup's back, baby, bang, bang, bang. I was like, Jesus, old timer, we'll take you back to Cybertron. We'll get you back on your way. And Blur's like, yeah, you're too old for this shit now. He's like, the fucking calling old son. I'll tell you this story back in my day. All those petrol rabbits on Beta Ford. And they're like, oh, crap, what have we done? That's basically it. I don't know why that's in the City of Fear thing. I think it was filler. There's also a TF annual called the Fall and Rise, sorry, of the Decepticon Empire. I'm not going to talk about that one just now. I'll talk about that one after Time Wars when it's chronologically set because it's like one of the last times you see any of the UK stuff in colour. And it's set after Time Wars, so and I will explain to the whole if I haven't already done it, I'll explain the whole how can Megatron be about when he's supposed to be like lying dead in the dead end of Cybertron thing. Okay. I mean, probably if you're watching this and you know the comics, you probably already know the answer, but still, for those who don't. So I'm just going to get straight onto City of Fear. Okay. Now, City of Fear, for some reason, is in three parts. You've got issues 164 and 165, which is City of Fear, 166 and 167, which is Legion of the Lost, and 168 and 169, which is Meltdown. We also have Deadly Games 170 and 171, which have seemingly nothing else to do with City of Fear. But you know what? Why not? It's filler. So we're going to do 164 to 169, which should, as far as I'm concerned, just has been called City. The whole thing's just been called City of Fear. It's a set of six part or something. Who am I? Back then I was fucking like a kid or something. But anyway, yeah. So City of Fear. It's as close to George Romero story as we're going to get. And it introduces Battle Trap briefly in Flywheels in the comics. I like them. I like the Deacons, but they don't really get a lot of love. And the only time you ever really see them live action is in the Japanese series Headmasters. And even then, it ain't much, it ain't much. Also, and amongst all this, we will get reintroduced to Impactor. Yes, dead Impactor. But, it being a kind of zombie story. So, and introduces the mad scientist Autobot Flame. At this point, I'll interject with something completely off topic, but kind of on topic. I am livid that I could not get my hands on a Zaron X Flame 2 pack from the Legacy Comic Edition stuff that Hasbro Pulse were selling. I'm livid. Same with Straxus, the Comic Edition. Couldn't get it. Livid. Any UK comic characters kind of stuff. I love them. I want them to get done. If I can't get them, pain, pain. Yeah, Meltdown. We see Triptychon, but it's not the first time you see him. If you've got the Marvel US comics, you see Triptychon in a comic. It's a one shot. Basically, it's when the Autobots are now basically leaderless. The Dinobots have buggered off. Triptychon turns up to kind of like whittle down Autobot numbers, you know. So, but yeah, he was already introduced in the US comics by this point. But that's the first time where you see him in the UK stuff, and he seems a lot bigger, like closer to his actual size in this. Whereas in the US comic, he seemed, I'll put it this way, Grimlock was about the size of his head, maybe the size of a combiner, maybe, you know, still big, but not Triptychon big, you know. And also, when we say hello to him back to the game, we're obviously going to say goodbye to him again. For some reason, they just didn't like this character. For some reason, they just kept killing the bastard off. But anyway, we'll get into the actual story of it now. Ultra Magnus and the Sparkle Bots are heading back to Cybertron to report on Galvatron and their encounter with him outside of the Decepticon castle. Also, the reports on, you know, Megatron having been taken into the castle as well. So they got a lot to report. So they're going back to the Wreckers base on Cybertron. Last we heard from them, they'd, you know, got their asses whooped by Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge. They're fine after that now, apparently. Oh wait, no, they're not, because Ultra Magnus and the others get back, and the base is deserted. There's obviously been signs of a battle, but there is no one about. So they have a look about, and eventually finds like some Cybertronian corpses, but like they're old. They're really old. They weren't part of the Wreckers. They weren't part of the support staff. They had an Autobot HQ. Who the hell are they? So as they walk off outside, this long dead thing opens its eye, of course. Then they head out, and it seems that the entire state where they are is deserted. There's no one there. Everyone's gone, you know. Why? Why is there? And the few people that are left, few Cybertrons are left, are holed up, like very much holed up, and will not talk to anyone. Now, when they cross the border state, they get attacked by Decepticons, the aforementioned Battletrap and Flywheels, and a squad of Decepticons who start pummeling and blasting. So, like, right, okay, pull back. The Decepticons only attacked us when we left here. When we go back in, let's go across the state lines, see if this paranoia and fear, let's just see if it extends to the cons. They go back in, and sure enough, no one comes after them. No one, no one. Then they realise that one of the one of the duocons during the battle had been knocked in there. And he's like, Jesus, I'm here. Right, I surrender. Let's just get out. I surrender. We need to leave now. And Magnus and the Sparkle Bots like, whoa, what the hell? At this point, a bunch of undead Transformers rise up out of the ground or like come out from the shadows, and they're surrounded by the frigging living dead, you know? And I'm pretty sure, is it Flywheels? I'm pretty sure it's Flywheels. This is a Decepticon that's been captured. Pretty sure Battletrap is still on the safe side. And so they end up fight the zombies off. And eventually Magnus sees that one of them's wearing an old Autobot and Signia is like, nope, hold your fire, we're not firing our own troops. The Decepticons sitting going, screw you, give me a gun, I want to start shooting. They're zombies. Well, obviously, they don't say zombies, but they're basically Cybertronian zombies. And he starts, transforms into his Duocon tank mode and starts shooting because they're not going to give him his gun back, but that cannon is part of his alt mode. So, boom, boom, boom. Eventually, with the Sparkle Bots holding them off, Flywheel, I'm just saying it's Flywheels, can't remember it's Flywheels, but I'm just saying it's Flywheels. If it's not, it's Battletrap. You should know this. And Ultra Magnus find the signal relay that's controlling all these animated undead and shut it down. And they all just kind of like dead again. Boom, the signal's gone. And we see this mysterious person saying, hell, they disabled my troops. Let's check on the prisoners. Checks on the prisoners. Yeah, there's the Wreckers in a holding cell, you know? So we eventually get to actually get to see this person. It is Flame, you know? And we see the backstory. We see all these undead Cybertronians bursting through the Wrecker defenses in the base and start tearing people apart left, right, and centre. You know, and Springer, he's just off a bad one, getting beat by Galvatron and the other ones. He's not long in charge of the Wreckers. And before that, with Ultra Magnus, they nearly killed Optimus, the real Optimus Prime under false intel. He's still very not in the headspace. And he's fighting and he's fighting, and they're all fighting. And eventually, Springer has a breakdown because who shows up? It's Impactor, but obviously kind of decayed, partially destroyed. You know, the former leader of the Wreckers who died saving Zaron and basically saving the rest of them, like many moons ago in Target 2006. So that's it. He has a breakdown. He basically shuts down. That's it. They're not torn apart. Some are torn apart, but the Wreckers themselves and Zaron aren't. They're taken down to Flames layer where he basically explains his grand plans. You know, very villain-esque for an Autobot, you know. And he's going to do this, that, and the next thing. He found the old engines used to put, they were going to power Cybertron as an intergalactic dreadnought through the stars, blah, blah, blah. And Zaron's trying to reason was like, you're a nutter, they'll blow us up. And he's like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. Kind of like, you know, if you say there's two genders these days. And anyway, you know, it's like, you just stay there. No one can help you. These guys will never get past my other defenses. You're just screwed. Just watch me being right, you know? Once again, the world today. The Wreckers eventually go, you know what, sod this, we're getting out. They break out and Springer heads for the shaft. So he uses Springer, he uses a leaping ability to get up and into the ventilation shaft, doing some diehard shit, you know. And unfortunately, Zombie Impactor grabs onto him and he was with him. So he's fighting him now. He's trying to kill Springer, and Springer's pleading, he's begging. He's like, please, Impactor, dear God, remember who you are to us. You were the leader of the Wreckers. And slowly but surely, Impactor's memory and personality starts to break through the signal. It's like, what is this? What's happened to me? What? And obviously he's looking at himself. He's like, who did this? What? Why am I here? You know? And he's like, it was Flame. Flame's done this to you. Impactor bolts. And he's like, shit. Right. I've got to finish my mission. Need to get out. Need to find help. Ultra Magnus and the Sparkle Bots eventually, and Flywheels, eventually, well, no, just the four of them, find their way down. Flywheels, they've let them go. They let them go to go find help. Sparkle Bots ain't happy with that. Magnus is like, you know what, I'm in charge, shut the fuck up. So they come down to try to help. And now at this point, all hell is broken loose. You've got Wreckers fighting zombies and other Wreckers trying to save other Wreckers from fighting zombies. Oh dear God, there's a lot of fighting. And at one point, it looks like Broadside is about to cop it because a zombie just grabs him. And then, typical zombie fashion, bites down on the head. Right? And that's it. He's like, oh shit, help, someone help, help. And the zombie gets lanced through the head. And it's Impactor. He's like, where's Flame? He did this, where is he? And he's like, I don't know, I think he's that way. I don't know. Where are you going? We need to help here. And not Zombie Impactor wanders off again. Obviously, the other zombies, zombie Cybertronians, aren't attacking him because he's like one of them. Eventually, they beat off the zombies and they meet up with Ultra Magnus and the Sparkle Boys. And they're like, right, we've got a breather. Right, what's that coming down the tunnel? Fuck, it's Trypticon. And Trypticon, yes, is coming storming down the tunnel. And they all get their guns out and they're like, oh, Jesus, this is it. We're done, we're done, we're done. Now, and Springer pops out and he goes, hold your fire. Flywheels has been good to his word. He couldn't find the Decepticons in sheer numbers, so he just settled for the biggest one. So he starts smacking things down, you know, and starts leathering things. He just Trypticons. You know, these big, heavy doors to stop the Wreckers getting to Flame and stopping him doing what he's doing. They don't put up much resistance against a massive fucking dinosaur. So I mean, he kaiju'd that shit, you know. Just, you see Impact at this point trying to reason with Flame. Listen, please stop. You're going to kill us all. He's like, no, you just hate me. You've hated me since back in the days when the council was up, and you said my ideas were this, that, and that. You know, it's a wacko. He's a nut job, you know. And you know, Impact, you know, Zaron tries to grab him. He's like, you know, mate, see reason. He's get off me, and transforms into a tank and starts like shooting left, right, and center. And Zaron's like, shit, right, yeah, he's a scientist, but I forgot he has a flame tank, fucking alt mode, you know. And Zaron hasn't transformed in so long; he's terrified to do it in case it kills him. You know, to the point of, you know, a big blast of flame, like a flame bolt, just kind of like shoots by him, and he's still afraid to transform. I mean, you're dead anyway. Just fucking do it. But by this point, Tripticon and that have broken through the defenses, and Magnus turns up behind him and just goes, here, oh, you know, picks him up and lamps him, you know, throws him away, right? And he's like, right, what do you need us to do? And Flame's like, I've activated, he activates the engines. He's going to basically cause the destruction of Cybertron here. He's like, I've done it. It's in a place where you can't get to. I rule. I rule. And quite frankly, at this point, Zaron's like, right, everyone out, get out, go. I'm going to shut this down. Leave now. Right. So he gets in, Flames like back up. And he goes for Zaron, and he's like, you won't stop me. You won't stop my dream coming true. Rah, 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 and peeled through the head. Impactor has shown up again. It's very brief, but I don't know where he's been all this time. And he shows up and he's killed Flame, thank Christ. And Zaron's like, no, you don't need to do anything. I'll do this. This is my responsibility. And Impactor's like, this isn't life. This is no state for me. Please let me do this. Let me do something good with what I've been given. I don't belong in the land of the living. Impactor is quite sorrowful about it, and Zaron's quite sorrowful about it. But eventually, Zaron takes the hint and he leaves. And it's basically it's a you've got the touch kind of moment. It's just like you got the power. He enters this. It's like a big, massive containment field full of like what seems to be deadly radioactive energy and lightning bolts and all that. Basically, a hellscape in a bubble surrounding the only machine that can stop this thing. And Impactor goes in, grabs the thing, you can tore it apart. It's like Dark Awakening when Prime becomes Prime again and sacrifices himself for the Quintessons, sacrifices himself against the Quintessons. And he's in, he gets the button, touches the lever, boom, massive explosion. But that's it. That's Flame's mad plan destroyed. He's been stopped. And just like at the end of Dark Awakening, you see like a silhouette of Optimus Prime. This you've got Zaron talking to the troops, including the Decepticons, and you can't see Tripticon. Maybe he's just buggered off, saying that they owe their lives to Autobots to sacrifice his life not once, but twice to save the planet. And it's like a thing of Impactor right there, just the same way. It's in my head, it's quite an emotional bit because like you're saying goodbye to Impactor again, and he literally saved the world at this point. Last time we just saved Zaron, but this time we saved everyone. But that's basically the end of the City of Fear, right? You do, as I said earlier on, you've got something called Deadly Games, it's issues 170 and 171. Don't know why they're lumped in there. But once again, it's the adventures of Ultra Magnus and the Sparkle Boys. Yeah, basically, Cybertron is being used for deadly games. It's like a gladiatorial combat. You've got all these aliens that are coming here and watching Cybertron's getting mauled by some really big kind of. I can't even remember what his name is. This big hulking, terrifying motherfucker with 4 arms. The only point of interest here is we see another UK character, an Autobot called Chameleon, before he is pretty much torn apart by this guy. And Ultra Magnus and Sparklebots are investigating. Like, where did Chameleon go? What's this? Shit, because they've got his body back home. They find his missing arm. They go in, they find this giant arena kind of thing. And basically, they all get beat because, why would the Autobots not win on their home territory against aliens? Ultra Magnus is told, right, I'm going to kill these Sparklebots unless you fight our champion, you kill him. So, Sparklebots thrown into a cell, and it's like, yeah, they live if you can fly. So, this big, massive, terrifying thing. And the Ultra Magnus start knocking lumps out of each other, Don't get me wrong, during this, the Sparklebots effect and escape thanks to the incompetence of the Firecons who are in league with these aliens. Sparkstalker and all those. And they're idiots. So they get out. And by this point, Magnus has the upper hand. He's beat this monster thing, and they're all shouting, kill him, kill him, kill him. And he's like, no, I'm a friggin' Autobot. You're all better than this. Why do you shouldn't want to see death here. Better people go back home and think about all this crap. And so the stadium they depart, the guy who's put it all up and the thing he's beat up, they're arrested, And at the end of it, no one's learned the lesson because they're sitting going, listen, so I hear there's like some sort of great sacrificial pit on another planet. Do I go see it? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, Ultra Magnus' little message of morality and goodwill to all species. I didn't cut mustard with no one, no one cared. You then have the once again another one that's just been put in for some reason, I don't know why. It's called Firebug. It's issue 188. We're getting very close to Time Wars now, so there's no real points of interest really. This is just you've got Inferno, Broadside, and Sandstorm on Earth preparing things for the Wreckers showing up later to hopefully help deal with Galvatron, and a little Firebug from a planet which well, formerly it's a Firebug. Firebugs ran about on this planet. Basically, was burnt to a crisp. There's nothing that could light up anymore. It arrived on Earth. Now they have to stop it from burning Earth down. Long story short, they do that. They stop the Firebug. They don't want to kill it. It's not its fault. That's its nature. It can't set everyone on fire. So they shoot it off to, I think it was like Mercury or something, the closest planet to or whatever the closest planet to the sun is. And there it lives. It's happy. Everyone's on fire and blah blah blah. I've read some pointless stories in my time, but that one kind of takes the cake. Especially with such a big event coming after it. And the big event, Space Pirates was before it. It's both big events. Time Wars being the biggest out of all of it, and I'm pretty sure after that the UK comics stopped using colour in their comics, and their comics are now like 5 pages long. So not only was Time Wars like a milestone big event, like one of the biggest event, but also marked kind of the death of the comics. If we're honest, sales plummeted. You're not colour in your comics and you're still selling like 5 pages. Yeah, what did you think was going to happen? At least the US only 80 odd comics at that point, but they were all in colour. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Next will be Time Wars, and I'll also do the rise and fall and rise of the Decepticon Empire, which is part of this comic as well, because it's set after, like I said, it's an annual, and it's the only one in colour, I think, after Time Wars, so may as well. Time Wars is a biggie. It will take time. So you think these were long videos? By Christ, no. I'm going to go and I'm going to rest, and I will see you next time for the big finale. Till next time, my fellow Cybertronians, stay safe, roll out.